Young and the Restless, spoilers for Thursday, September 25, reveal Victor Newman makes Kane Ashby an offer that he thinks is hard to refuse. But the mustache is in for a rude awakening when Kane rejects him. Jack Abbott has a trick up his sleeve. With Kane threatening to destroy businesses in Genoa City, he's come up with an unexpected solution. Will it actually work? Billy Abbott makes a tough decision. Will he end up regretting it? On Thursday, Sally gives Billy an ultimatum. The redhead wants to know if he's finally given up on his obsession with Chancellor. "Billy, you had your own company in your hands," she points out. "But the only thing you can think about is your mother, who doesn't believe in you." In his defense, Billy reiterates that he's only going after what's rightfully his. But Sally insists they could have been living their dream if it wasn't for his obsession with Chancellor. "I would hate to believe that a company means more to you than me," she adds. "So now's your chance, Billy, me, or Chancellor." The Young and the Restless, spoilers say Billy tells Sally that she's the most important thing in his life, besides his kids. In the end, he chooses her. Meanwhile, at the Abbott estate, Jack, Kyle, and Diane talk about Billy and his obsession with Chancellor. The family also talk about Kane and the threat he poses not only to their family, but to the entire Genoa City as well. Jack reveals his plans to Kyle and Diane, and it's something he never thought he'd ever do. The Young and the Restless, spoilers say Jack considers teaming up with his longtime nemesis, Victor, to take Kane down. Also on Thursday, Victor drops by Kane's train and makes him an offer. The Young and the Restless, spoilers say he pressures him to make a decision quickly. Victor thinks Kane can help him take down Jabot, and he wants to launch the attack as soon as tomorrow. However, Kane asks for more time to think about it. Victor refuses, insisting that once he walks out the door, the deal is off. "My answer is no," Kane declares. Will he regret his decision? The Young and the Restless, spoilers for the week of September 22 to 26, reveals Sally's spectra opens up to Audra Charles. "It's really bad. Billy decided there is something more important than the company. Abbott Communications is finished before it even got started," the redhead tells her pal. Holden Novick invites Claire Newman to go with him to Lowe's Angels. "If you want some distance, how does 2,000 miles sound? Why don't you come to LA with me?" Holden asks Claire. Victor Newman pressures Kane Ashby with yet another offer. "Are you in or out?" Victor asks. "I'll think about," Kane replies. "Don't take long. The moment I walk out that door, the deal is off the table," Victor warns. Billy makes a shocking threat. Kane reconnects with Tracy. Tessa opens up to Daniel. Y&R, spoilers for Tuesday, September 23. Sally and Audra plot their next move. Claire receives an intriguing invitation. Victoria gives Kyle unsolicited advice. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Wednesday, September 24. Jack and Diane rein in Billy. Lauren stands her ground with Michael. Audra pushes Kyle's buttons. Victor makes Kane an offer that is hard to refuse. Jack has a trick up his sleeve. Billy forces Sally to make a tough decision. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Friday, September 26. Victor considers calling a truce with Jack. Kane ends an alliance. Nikki receives surprising news. Last week on The Young and the Restless, Mariah confronted Daniel about Tessa and asked for a favor. Sally and the Abbotts worry about Billy, while Kane pulls him deeper into chaos. Monday, September 15. Devon encourages Lily to make a fresh start, Phyllis and Michael call a truce, and Kane shares his new agenda with Amanda. Tuesday, September 16. Kyle is forced to take the high road. Adam puts Chelsea in a tough position, and Sally stands her ground with Billy. Wednesday, September 17. Victor multitasks to take down his opponents. Kane asks Billy to make amends with Jill, and Jack gives Nikki a warning. Thursday, September 18. Jack turns to Victoria for help, Kane charms Lily, and Mariah confronts Daniel about Tessa. Friday, September 19. Lauren pulls out all the stops to impress Cricket, Billy suffers a setback, and Kane hosts a meeting of the minds. He Young and the Restless, spoilers for the week of September 1 to 5, reveal Kyle Abbott pops the big question to Claire Newman, leaving her speechless. Audra Charles finally comes clean to Nate Hastings. "The truth, Audra, that is all I ask," Nate asks. "I did it. I agreed to Victor's quid pro quo. I went after Kyle so I could get what I want," Audra admits. Nikki Newman prepares a special surprise for Victor Newman. "Well, you're the one always surprising me and lavishing me with gifts, so I thought it was your turn to be surprised and spoiled. Let me remind you how much I adore you," Nikki tells Victor. The air in Genoa City is thick with betrayal and the looming specter of all-out war. The fallout from Jordan's shocking return and the Newman family's subsequent implosion has left every alliance fractured and every trust broken. As we look ahead to the explosive events of September 25th, the stage is set for a day that will redefine loyalties and shatter the fragile peace. At the center of the storm are two titans: Victor Newman, who delivers a rejection so cold it freckles the heart, and Jack Abbott, who is pushed to the brink and does the unthinkable. This is not just a battle for power, it's a battle for the very soul of a family. The aftermath of the Newman lockdown. The Newman Ranch, once a symbol of impenetrable power, has become a gilded cage of paranoia and accusation. Victor's drastic decision to lock down the entire family, under the guise of protecting them from Jordan, has backfired catastrophically. Instead of uniting them, it exposed every crack in their foundation. Victoria feels betrayed by her father's autocratic rule. Nick is disgusted by the manipulation. And even Nikki, Victor's most steadfast defender, is questioning the cost of their survival. The September 25th episode picks up in the tense hours following the lockdown's end. The family is physically free, but the psychological chains are tighter than ever. Victor, seated behind his desk at Newman Enterprises, is not in a conciliatory mood. He believes his actions, however harsh, saved them all. He expects gratitude, or at the very least, resigned acceptance. What he gets is a rebellion led by his own children. Victor's chilling rejection. Victoria, armed with the full support of the board and a steely resolve born from years of living in her father's shadow, confronts Victor. She lays out a clear and professional argument. His recent behavior is a liability. The lockdown, the erratic decisions, the public spectacle, it's bad for business and worse for the Newman legacy. She isn't coming to him as a daughter, but as the CEO. And she presents him with an ultimatum: a graceful, voluntary retirement with an emeritus title, or a messy, public vote of no confidence from the board. Victor listens, his face an unreadable mask. For a moment, the room holds its breath. Is there a flicker of pride for the formidable woman his daughter has become, or perhaps a sliver of regret? The answer is a resounding no. Victor Newman does not negotiate. He does not capitulate. His rejection is not a loud, fiery explosion. It is something far more dangerous, a quiet, Arctic chill. He looks at Victoria not with paternal love, but with the cold disdain of a king facing a traitorous subject. "After everything I have done to build this empire, to protect this family, you come to me with this," he will say, his voice dangerously low. "You think a title granted by a board of directors gives you authority over me? You are mistaken, Victoria. This company, this family, is mine. It will always be mine." He then delivers the line that will echo through Genoa City for weeks to come. "If you wish to challenge me, then do so. But do not expect mercy. Do not expect me to simply step aside. You are my daughter, but in this office you are just another obstacle, and I remove obstacles." This is the ultimate rejection. He rejects her authority, her logic, and most painfully, her plea for a peaceful transition. In Victor's world, there is no peace, only victory or defeat. By framing her as an obstacle, he severs the professional from the personal entirely, leaving Victoria gutted and more determined than ever to see him fall. Nikki's torn allegiance. Nikki is caught in the crossfire, and her heart is breaking. She understands Victor's driven nature. It's what saved her, what built their life. But she also sees the damage he is inflicting on their children. She attempts to play peacemaker, urging Victor to see reason and begging Victoria for patience. He was trying to protect us, Victoria. His methods are extreme, but his intention was to keep us safe from Jordan, Nikki pleads. But Victoria is beyond hearing it. Protect us, or control us, Mother. There's a difference, and you've spent your life refusing to see it. Nikki is left alone, clutching a crystal glass, staring out at the Genoa city skyline. The two pillars of her world are at war, and she knows she will soon have to choose a side. Her allegiance is the most valuable currency in this conflict, and the pressure will push her dangerously close to the edge she has fought so hard to avoid. Jack's descent, a perfect storm of pressure. While the Newmans tear themselves apart, Jack Abbott is facing his own existential crisis. The merger between Jabot and Kyle's new company, while promising, is a constant source of stress. But that pales in comparison to the emotional turmoil he's in. Diane is his rock, his miracle second chance. But the threat of Jordan still looms, a ghost haunting their happiness. Jack is not sleeping. He is plagued by nightmares of Jordan harming Diane or Harrison. He sees the constant fear in Diane's eyes, a fear he feels powerless to erase. The Genoa City PD, while competent, moves at the pace of an investigation. For Jack, that is not fast enough. Every moment Jordan is free is a moment his family is in danger. He's also watching the Newman drama unfold from a distance, and it triggers a deep-seated resentment. Victor's brand of ruthless, unilateral action has always been anathema to Jack's more principled, though still cunning, approach. But now, in his state of raw fear and desperation, a dangerous thought begins to form. Maybe Victor's way is the only way to get results. Maybe principles are a luxury you can't afford when your family is on the line. The unthinkable act. The catalyst comes on the afternoon of September 25th. A cryptic tip, an anonymous call suggesting Jordan was spotted near the Abbott mansion, sends Jack into a blind panic. It's a false alarm, a wrong address, but for Jack, it's the final straw. The thin veneer of his civilized businessman persona shatters. He doesn't call the police. He doesn't confer with his security team. In a moment of pure, unadulterated desperation, Jack Abbott does the unthinkable. He places a call to the darkest corner of Genoa City. He reaches out to a man known only as the Fixer, a shadowy figure who operates outside the law, a man who can make problems disappear permanently. The conversation is brief and hushed. Jack's hand trembles as he holds the phone. "I have a problem. A woman named Jordan. I need it handled. No traces, no questions." He agrees to an exorbitant fee, his voice thick with a mixture of shame and grim resolution. This is the unthinkable. Jack Abbott, the patriarch of a family built on honor and legacy, has just ordered a hit. He has crossed a line from which there is no return. He has chosen to become the very thing he has always despised, a Victor Newman. He believes he is protecting his family, but in doing so, he is sacrificing his own soul. The weight of this decision immediately crushes him. He ends the call and slumps into his chair, staring at his hands, the hands that just orchestrated a murder, as the horrifying reality of his actions sinks in. A city on the brink. The events of September 25th send seismic waves through Genoa City. Victor's rejection of Victoria guarantees a corporate civil war that will divide families and test friendships. The Newman Empire is now a battlefield. But Jack's unthinkable act is the true game-changer. If his dark deed is discovered, it will not only destroy the Abbott family, but send shockwaves through the entire community. How will Kyle react if he learns his father has become a criminal? How will Diane, who loves the good man Jack